Perhaps the Atlanteans living on the Galapagos Islands were forced to abandon that home as well. Or maybe, as some have intimated, there are in fact subterranean passageways that connect all the outposts across the globe.
So if the greater outposts are in the west, then is Atlantis itself also in the west? Does anybody know where it is?
Esteban, nobody knows. We shall be the first to find it.
We? What do you mean, we? I can't go with you. I don't even know you.
You may not know me, but I knew your father.
Everybody knows my father. He's the dean of the cathedral. And I must stay here to look after him. He needs me. In fact, I should be going right now. He'll be wondering where I am.
Not Father Rodriguez, Esteban. I mean, I know your father. Your real father.
The old man had struck me a terrible wound. The anger suddenly boiled up inside me, leaving me unable to contain it.
You liar! Nobody knows my real father. He probably died before I was even born.
Are you certain of that, Esteban? Or is that just what your father told you?
I don't have to listen to this. You are a liar and a thief, and I don't know why you would even want me on your stupid quest.
A thief, perhaps. But I am no liar, boy. I need you because you are the Star Child, Esteban. A true descendant of the Atlanteans, a child of the sun. I have known it since I first laid eyes upon you.
I am having no more of this. I am going home to my father. Good luck on your quest, sir. We will not meet again.
And with that, I bolted out of the door, so as to hide the tears that threatened to roll down my cheeks in front of the crazy old man. I ran as fast as the wind could carry me back to the cathedral, narrowly dodging the crowds of people now out enjoying the afternoon sun. As I approached the steps of the cathedral, one of the monks was already at the door, waiting impatiently for me.
Esteban, thank God, there you are. We've been searching all day for you. Where have you been? I was at the house of Senor Salvador. Cristobal Salvador? The Alchemist? You know better than to associate with such ungodly men as that. I know, brother. I have learned my lesson, I swear. The man is nothing but a liar and a witch. I am glad to hear you say that, Esteban. And I see no reason for Father Rodriguez to know. But we will talk of this later. Right now you have to see your father. He took a turn for the worse this morning, and he's been asking for you all day.
I felt my stomach overturn at this grave news, and my walk to my father's chamber was a decidedly uneasy one. The words of Senor Salvador, as false as I judged them to be, would not leave my head. I entered my father's bedchamber expecting the worst, but even that could not prepare me for what I saw. I had never seen a man looking so deathly ill. It was as if one could merely catch death, just by being near his pale, shriveled body, the only hint of colour being the dark rings around his sorrowful eyes.
Esteban,
he said, and he smiled at me. And that smile dispelled all the repulsive feelings I had toward him, and I went to his side.
Esteban, come here, my boy. What is it, father? Esteban, I do not have long left in this world, and I have asked you here because I wanted to say goodbye to you, and to say that although you were not born of me, I could not have asked God for a finer son, and I thank him every day for allowing me to be both father to my flock and a father to you, my son, Esteban. If there is anything you would ever want of me, I beg you, ask it of me now, and I shall do all in my power to grant it. Father,
I said, no longer able to hold back the tears.
I know I have asked it of you many times, but even though you always said you didn't know, I feel you always knew something beyond what you told me. So, Father, I beg you, if you know anything of my real parents, tell me now. Ah, yes.
Father Rodriguez sighed.
I knew that this time would eventually come. The truth is, Esteban, that I always tried to hide what I knew from you because I did not want you to feel an outcast. I wanted you to be normal, to fit in with the other children and to make friends. But I can hide the truth no longer, Esteban. And the truth is that you are special. You are unique. You are not born of this world. Listen carefully. Some 12 years ago, Magellan returned from a voyage around the world. When his fleet was sailing in the Pacific Ocean, a terrible storm sprang up suddenly. As the men aboard desperately struggled to save their own ship, one of the lookouts spotted another ship, not 100 yards away. The ship did not look like any the crew had ever seen before, but she was sinking nonetheless. And only one man was visible aboard, holding what seemed to be a bundle of cloth in his arms. Magellan's crew were too afraid and too busy with saving their own lives, but one man among them stood out. He tied a rope to himself and to his ship and dove into the raging ocean to rescue the man. The brave sailor who jumped into that sea couldn't save that man, but he did save a little baby. That baby, Esteban, was you. And after you were saved, the great Magellan himself took you in his arms. And then, a miracle happened. The storm subsided and the sun came out as if in answer to your smile. Esteban, my boy, God has given you this strange power, and you must use it to help those who really need it, only in the new world. Never forget, Esteban.
And with that, Father Rodriguez was dead. A sorrow that could never be described in words took my heart, and I ran. Out of the bedchamber, out of the cathedral, and up the bell tower that looked out over the city, away from all the noise of the world. I don't know how long I cried up there for, but to me it seemed to be hours, and just as I was feeling I had no more tears left to shed, I heard a familiar voice behind me, and a strong hand on my shoulder.
I'm so sorry, Esteban.
It was Salvador.
How did you know I was up here?
The town crier has been announcing the news of Father Rodriguez's death all around the city. I know this is where you come often to be alone. I have seen you appear many times from the streets.